In 1938, a man started a business with 40 employees selling dried fish and noodles. That same company today, worth over $300 billion. It makes the phone in your pocket, the chip in your computer, the screen you're watching this on. This is the insane story of Samsung. 3 generations, one family, a company that didn't just grow in a country, it literally built the country. This isn't just a business story. This is the dark, dramatic, and wildly untold history of modern Korea. Buckle up. It started with one man, Lee Byung-chul. His first business failed completely. But here's the thing about Lee. He wasn't wired to quit. In 1938, he started over. A tiny trading company in Daegu. 40 employees. Dried fish, noodles. He called it Samsung. 3 stars in Korean. His dream was simple. To shine like stars in the sky. Large, strong, and eternally shining. Easy to say when you're selling fish. Harder to believe when the Korean War destroys everything you built. But Lee rebuilt sugar, textiles, insurance. Every time Korea needed something, Lee Byung-chul built it. Then he made the move. Everyone called insane. He pushed Samsung into electronics. Japan dominated the market. America owned the technology. Korea had absolutely no business being there. Lee didn't care. In 1987, Lee Byung-chul died. His son, Lee Kun-hee, took over. And the first thing he did, he looked at Samsung's products and he was embarrassed. Cheap phones, unreliable TVs, products people bought only because they had no other choice. Samsung was a copycat brand and Lee Kun-hee refused to accept it. So in 1995, he did something nobody had ever done before. He gathered thousands of Samsung employees at a factory in Gumi. He brought out $50 million worth of Samsung products, phones, fax machines, televisions, and he set them on fire. As $50 million burned to the ground, he looked at his stunned employees and said, "Change everything, except your wife and children." The entire workforce stood in silence, watching their work turn to ash. The message was received. Samsung never made a cheap product again. By the 2000s, Samsung ruled the world. Largest smartphone maker, largest memory chip producer, largest home appliance manufacturer. But supreme power always comes with a price. Lee Kun-hee was convicted of corruption twice, 1,996, then again in 2008. Both times, the Korean president stepped in and granted him a full pardon. Why? Because the Korean economy literally could not survive without him. That's the kind of power Samsung had. Then in 2014, Lee Kun-hee suffered a heart attack and never fully recovered. The empire passed to his son, Lee Jae-yong, known internationally as JY Lee, Generation 3, and history repeated itself. In 2017, JY Lee was arrested, bribery, political scandal, connected directly to the impeachment of South Korean President Park Geun-hye, the chairman of the world's largest tech empire, behind bars. The whole world watched, and then another presidential pardon. Of course, today, Samsung employs 260,000 people. It accounts for 20% of Korea's entire export revenue. Let that sink in. One company, 20% of an entire country's exports. Samsung isn't just a company. Samsung is Korea's economy. 3 generations, 3 visions, 3 major scandals, from dried fish in 1938 to owning the global tech industry. Every phone, every chip, every screen built by a family that refused to quit and a country that refused to let them fall. This is what Korea is made of. And if you think Samsung's story is wild, wait until you hear what happened to the chip company Samsung is now desperately trying to beat. That story already on this channel. Subscribe to K-Files, Korea's most untold stories. New stories every week.